match, and they let us know that there actually was a chance for survival. If Leo were to find a stem cell or a bone marrow transplant, he not only could have extended life, he could possibly have a cure. So a couple months later, we're called into the office and we are told a perfect match has been found. And of course, we are over the moon, excited, celebrating, and tears of joy streaming down. The oncologist said, "I'm going to give you guys a moment," walks to the door, puts his hand on the doorknob, stops, and comes back and says to us, "Listen, Leo, I just need to let you know just how lucky you are to have found a match. Because you are Caucasian of European descent, you have about a 70 to 80% chance of finding a match. Now, if this was your wife, Monica, her chances drop to about 40% because she is Mexican. And God forbid it's your children, they are mixed race, their chances drop even lower." So in that moment, Leo, being the amazing human that he is, he said, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. When I beat AML, we are going to share our story. We're going to share our story, we're going to advocate, and we're going to let people know why it is so important for them to be on the bone marrow registry, especially people of different ethnic backgrounds." Now, I will tell you that Leo fought like a warrior, but sadly he passed away on October 1st, 2018. But my family, my children, we were so grateful for the extra year of life that we had with him. Leo came home from the hospital on Christmas Eve, and that was one more Christmas for my 3 children. And he passed away 2 weeks after our 18th wedding anniversary, so one more wedding anniversary for me. And all because this 22-year-old beautiful stranger was asked to join the registry, and he did. And when he got the phone call that he was a match, he donated. So that is why we are here today, raising awareness, asking you, if you are between the ages of 18 to 40, to please come swab. The procedure it's a simple procedure, and imagine if you were chosen to give the gift of life. It would just be incredible. And I want to introduce you to our good friend John, who has his story to share with you here on this podcast.
Hi, as Monica said, my name is John. I want to thank you all for being here because you're supporting an unbelievable cause, and what these ladies do is absolutely amazing. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to talk really fast, but if you have any questions, feel free to come talk to me afterwards. But the hero of my story is this man right here. His name's Nicholas Kraus. My wife and I had the honor of flying to Germany and meeting him last summer. He's a normal guy. He lives with his wife, 2 small kids outside of Stuttgart, and works for Mercedes. Well, in 2019, he's 29 years old. He's watching TV at home. There's a story about a young boy in a neighboring town that needs a bone marrow transplant. They're having a very difficult time finding a match. Bone marrow is difficult to match in that on one of your chromosomes, there's a small little section, and in that small little section, there are 12 smaller sections called alleles. This is what they're trying to match, and there are literally millions of genetic variations. Well, Nicholas was quite touched by this, so he called the number on the screen, got the kit. As Monica said, it was a simple swab of the cheek. It was mailed in. His DNA was then extracted. The 12 alleles were separated, and he was put on the German registry. Fast forward to October of 2019. I'm diagnosed with the same disease that Leo had. I'm admitted into the City of Hope, where they put me on chemotherapy designed to stun my bone marrow. The theory is that when the bone marrow comes back, I'd be producing normal cells. But like Leo, I had a mutation. 32 days later, I was sent home, said that my mutation would never allow my blood to ever be proper again. So they told me my only hope for survival was a bone marrow transplant. They told me that it might be difficult, and they also told me without it I had 6 to 12 months to live. So went home thinking that was my last Christmas, my last Thanksgiving. It's a rather sobering situation. For any of you that are familiar with the song Live Like You're Dying, first of all, not only is that excellent advice, for me it had a whole new meaning. But 3 days before Christmas, we got a call from the City of Hope, and they had found a match. 11 out of 12, which is rather extraordinary, because the only way you get 12 out of 12 is if you have a identical twin, which I did not. What I did not know at the time, it was a 29-year-old man from Germany. The first part of January was spent testing to make sure that I would survive what they're going to do to you, because it's pretty brutal. The last week in January was readmitted in the City of Hope, where they started another chemotherapy designed to destroy your bone marrow. To say this is uncomfortable is can't even begin to describe how bad you feel. This stuff, you have to realize, is potent enough to penetrate your bones and then kill your bone marrow. But on February 5th at 1 in the morning, I received Nicholas' cells. I said I was a match of 11 to 12. One of the problems was he had a different blood type. He was A positive, I was O positive. So about an hour after the procedure, I went to a major blood reaction, started having seizures, I was throwing up, they had to put me on oxygen. I was pretty sure I was dying. I will never forget this nurse. She sat by my side, never left me, telling me that I was going to be okay. I was pretty sure she was lying. But as the sun came up, I started feeling better, and it becomes a waiting game. They are waiting for the what they call engraftment. The cells that they've given you, they have to start producing cells. At the time, my white count was 0.2. To give an idea, everybody out here is between 8 and 12. On day 10, my white count went to 0.4, the next day to 0.5, and it continued to climb for the most part. About a week later, I started producing red cells, shortly after that, platelets. 35 days after that, I was discharged with a white count of 6 and allowed to recover at home, even though I had to make frequent trips to be checked, sometimes getting transfusions if something was out of whack. But this last February 5th was my 5-year anniversary, and I am in total remission. My blood counts are absolutely perfect. And it's all because some 29-year-old man that I'd never met, who lives halfway around the world, took 10 minutes out of his day to be checked, and then an organization that I'd never heard of found him. One of the most remarkable things is that if you took my blood and Nicholas' blood and put it side by side, you would find it's genetically exactly the same. Nicholas's DNA is now part of me, and I am now in fact A positive. Now, people ask me, well, what did you say when you met him? And there are no words. You know, in those 5 years that he gave me, I had 2 sons excel in the Navy. I had a daughter graduate nursing school, and it's her birthday, by the way. She's 25 today. I had 2 grandchildren born. I got to go on a cruise with my vows with my beautiful wife. When we met each other, we just held each other and cried. Later that night, Nicholas' son wasn't quite sure what all the hubbub was about. And so his mom was trying to explain to him, and he turned to her and said, "So my dad's a hero." And to me, Nicholas is a hero. And to repeat something that Monica said, if at all you can qualify to be checked, or you have loved ones at home that can qualify, you can take a kit home. It's so simple. And every single person that gets put on there is one more possibility of saving somebody's life. And to be honest, the chances you're being called are incredibly remote, just because of the numbers I talked about. But it would be pretty amazing to get that chance to step up and become a hero like Nicholas did. Anyway, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best of luck.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Couple things. First, it is definitely warm today. Stay hydrated. Everyone should be taking some sips of water right now. There's some electrolyte packets in the under the red tent there. Make sure you stay hydrated. When you change sides, grab a drink.